Hello everyone, this is Mayor Lionel Jordan bringing in a segment of the Mayor's Corner. Today I have Terry Gulley here, who's in charge of our transportation department for the city of Fayetteville, and wanted to talk about the sidewalk program we've got going and what we're going to be doing this year and into the future. And so Terry, tell the folks a little bit about our sidewalks.
Well, our sidewalk program, we took over that program in the mid-90s, so before that everyone was responsible for their own sidewalks in front of their own homes. Now, however we do that, we're in charge of installing new ones as well as maintaining the existing ones across the town. This year we're ramping up the program pretty large amount because of the new sales tax that was passed by the state, using a big portion of our turnback money for that purpose. So it's pretty much funding levels have gone from about 500,000 to about close to 1.5 million, so about a threefold increase. So in the past, we've done approximately, anywhere from 12 to 15,000 feet. This year, we've got on the plan 32,000 feet of sidewalk. The money does not necessarily triple the amount of production we can do because we still got the same number of employees. So we're going to use a combination of them, some of our other crews to help out, and then some contracted help to help pour the concrete.
Well, it's a great program. I know that when we got it, the turnback money from the state is our portion of that, and I certainly wanted to put it in alternative transportation. I asked them if we could put it in alternative transportation, and they said, yeah, we could. So I made a decision to put it into sidewalks and some of it into public transportation. And so it's a very aggressive plan, and I think you all are doing a great job with it. You might want to tell the folks how the sidewalk locations are decided upon.
Well, we look at several factors on that. One of the primary ones is proximity for walking to school, whether that be elementary, junior high, high school, and even the college. We'll look at those. A secondary thing we look at is where can we make a connection in a missing piece of sidewalk that maybe connects a couple of thousand feet here and a couple of thousand feet there, but we're missing 500 feet. We did that a few years ago on Gregg Street north of North Street and connected 7,000 feet from there to Township by putting in about 700 feet of sidewalk that was missing. So you've now got a continuous sidewalk. So that's something we look at. We also look at requests from the public that we've gotten, requests from aldermen, requests from you or anyone else that might contact you, anyone that comes to the sidewalk committee. We'll look at that, and sometimes we'll get requests through there also, or some just call in the transportation division and request them. That can be anywhere from repairs to a new sidewalk. But that's the methods of getting us the information if you're wanting to add a sidewalk or have something done to your sidewalk.
So I know that that you will take the package. I know you'll discuss where you're going to put them, and then I'll make some suggestions, and the staff and we'll all work together, and then you present it to the street committee. Yeah. And the street committee is composed of a council member from each ward, and then they weigh in on it, and if they've got any recommendations or any changes they want to make, then.
Well, and a new thing we've added this year is we've started talking to all 8 of the aldermen in each ward, giving them the list that we see the needs or what we've heard about. Give it to them, and then we've been asking them to rank in priority what they hear from their ward as the most important ones. We went to 2 or 3 of the ward meetings and presented that, and anybody that happened to be there got their input that way also. And then we comprised that list, took it there, and then after it passed that, we took it on to the council for approval also. So at any one of those stops, you could, get some input into the process.
Well, it's like, as I've said, quite a program. I think we're going to really make the city a real walkable community with this sidewalk program in the next 2 or 3 years. We've probably the most we've built in a long time.
I think the best year we ever had building sidewalk, we got close to 20,000 feet one year, and that was probably, we had some really easy ones to build, like Rolling Hills or something along those lines. That determines a lot of it too. Building in the interior and the historic area, trying to do sidewalk there is sometimes way more difficult because of the infrastructure, the rock retaining walls that people have built, the way the telephone poles are situated or the utilities are situated down streets. Lots of times we look at a lot of different things to try and get through those areas, whether even in some cases taking a foot or two of the street to try and be able to get by that without having to use a lot of money for utility relocation or buying right away if we need it. So we try and stretch our dollars as far as we can.
Sure.
And get as much donated as possible. Kind of the same way as with the Trails program, we do the same thing. Couple of questions we always get, I thought I'd try and answer too, is a lot of times people ask, well, why do some streets have sidewalks on both sides of the street, some have it on one and some have it on none? And most of that is due to, as the city developed over time, you've got some streets like Huntsville Road that had a bar ditch on either side. That's a project we've got going on right now that'll hopefully be completed in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. And we've already got people using it even in the various stages of construction. But it had an open ditch along it, so we had to do drainage improvements, and then we go in and put the sidewalk, we put curb and gutter there, we put a green space separation because it is a busy street.
Yeah.
Trying to get all those things where we can. Sometimes, though, you can't get it separated because of right-of-way issues. But then you've got streets that maybe have sidewalk on one side that was built prior to us taking that over. Anything prior to us taking that over in the 90s and new development is required to build sidewalks, access ramps, and all accessibility needs on both sides of the street. So if you go out to the west side of town, I think the west, Ward 4 has something like 47% of the streets have sidewalks, but if you get in Ward 1, it's more like 19. Mm-hmm. And that's mostly due to when the sidewalk and when that part of town was developed. So those are some of those issues. We're trying to level out some of those numbers, but if the new development continues in the west and the northeast, it tends to keep their percentage of sidewalk higher. It's not that we kind of evenly spread out the new sidewalk construction amongst the entire city, but we've got such a disparity in from when we started.
So, okay, so this year, now we're cranked up and going right now, probably from now until it's really cold weather, we'll continue.
Yeah, I mean, like the ones we have going right now, we've got Huntsville Road going. Like I said, we're hoping to wrap it up fairly quick. We've got Sang and Halsell, we're clearing over there for a sidewalk extension. We've already poured the sidewalk on Cross Street, a section of Markham to get from Cross back towards the stadium is later on the list. So hopefully we'll have a connection from Sang all the way over to the football stadium. Other areas we've got going is, like I said, Huntsville. We're also doing one on Armstrong down by the city shop area. And that's a connect to a request from the industrial park to have better access for their employees, because apparently they have quite a few that walk. So we're building that, and that was another one of those sections where we built about half of it, and the other half was there, so we'll have it all the way from Superior Industries all the way up to 15th Street. Right. Mission Boulevard's another big one in the northeast, trying to connect from what exists in front of Park Place down towards the 45-265 intersection, back to Root School, because we had a lot of parents, their kids can't walk from Park Place to Root due to there's no sidewalk on that south side of the road. So we've got several projects like that where we're trying to connect things and make a big impact this year, and then we'll carry that over into the next 3 or 4 years that you've told me will be funded equally at the current plan anyway.
Right.
So.
Well, great. Any final comments for the
No, that's kind of it. I got out some of the questions we get asked all the time, and I think that's a good informative session on what we've got going on this year.
Well, I appreciate it, Terry. Right. I think y'all doing a great job. Folks, I just want to say as we close out the show today that we are very aggressively doing our sidewalk program right now, and will be for the next 2 or 3 years. We've tripled our funding, and it's truly going to make the city a walkable community. And I really look forward to it. I really appreciate the work, Terry, that you and the crews do. And folks, if you have any sidewalk repairs or sidewalk concerns or input that you'd like to put, I'm sure you can call Terry at the Transportation Department. At what's the number down?
575-8228.
So, folks, until you all have a great day. Until I see you again, be sound, be safe, be solid, and have a great day.